When we outside, it's an ocean of love. All that we align to the stars up above. Let we dance now, take a chance now with me. And we go jump till morning. Look, the moon gone sleeping. Tell them we not leaving till the last drop of a canal is madness in the capital. So I feel like I run in tongue again. Jump and shake the ground again. Wave with all my friends and them. No place like home. 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 I feel like I run in tongue again. Jump and shake the ground again. Wave with all my friends and them. No place like home. 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 Now is the time for it to jam on somebody. Hand up in the air. Madness everywhere. Eating with DNA. To get on bad when we on the roadway. We like we own way. Tell them freedom in with DNA.
Continue blessing them, making these decisions. Continue to give the workers the strength to continue the work. Lord Father, I pray that you bless us all. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Raymond. At this point in time, we would like to call upon the chairman of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park Limited, Mr. Nyron Leong.
Thank you, sir. I would like to recognize first and foremost our Secretary, Tashia Boris, from the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transport, and our Assistant Secretary also is here, Mr. Niall George. We have another secretary, one of my favorite secretaries, Mr. Sampson. We have also amongst us, I saw Assistant Secretary Craig, another of my favorite. I want to also welcome him and thank you for thank you for being here with us. So good evening again, everyone, and I would like to formally welcome you to the recommissioning of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park Jetty. It is a pleasure to have you here today, celebrate this special occasion with us. I would like to take a moment to extend warmest greetings to each and every one of you who make the effort to be here today. This jetty was closed to the public on October 1st for maintenance work, which management decided that this refurbishment work was to be executed by our in-house staff. Yes? And this was competently led by the gentleman who just offered a word of prayer, Mr. Rodney Raymond, and his team. Right? In the space of 3 weeks, the jetty was stripped bare bone to connecting beams. The jetty was stripped bare bone. 2 connecting beams at the entrance here were rebuilt. 480 feet of running board was laid and encased with 5,000 psi concrete. Going down to details, 187 planks were laid in 3 weeks. However, pleas from our stakeholders didn't fall on deaf ears, as they pleaded for railing along the jetty to ensure safety of our users. And you see today, never before, brand new railings along the jetty, right? So in welcoming you all today, I want to give a special welcome to the spirit of commitment, a special welcome to the spirit of confidence, a special welcome to the spirit of teamwork, and a special welcome to the spirit of accomplishment that has been displayed and continues to be displayed by the staff of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this point in time, we like to say, let me take this time to say happy International Men's Day to all the strong, hard-working men down here right now. Right? So as we get ready to move right along, I would like to call on the area representative. What you say? His favorite secretary? One? Mr. Joel Sampson. He's going to come and share a few words with us right now.
Good evening to each and everyone. Firstly, allow me to recognize Councillor Tashia Grace Boris, Secretary at the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. Also her humble assistant, Assemblyman Niall George. Allow me to recognize the Administrator at the Division, Mr. Julian Skeet. Also allow me to recognize one of my favorite colleagues, Assemblyman Sonny Craig, among us here today. Also allow me to make mention of the chairman of the Pigeon Point Heritage Limited Board, Mr. Nyron Leong, the staff and management of the Pigeon Point. I am asked to bring remarks today, and it could be as short as we love Pigeon Point. But there is a little more to be said about why we are here today. We gather to celebrate the reopening of the Pigeon Point Jetty, an iconic landmark that holds a special place in the hearts of the people of Bonaccord Crown Point and the wider Tobago community. This jetty is more than just a structure. It is a symbol of our rich history, a vibrant culture, and the resilient spirit of the people. For generations, the Pigeon Point Jetty has been a hub of activity and a favored destination for both locals and visitors. It has witnessed countless sunsets, family gatherings, and significant moments in our community's history. Its reopening today marks a new chapter in its storied legacy. And we know it's not only the jetty, but also the lush, healing blue waters that surrounds it. But our iconic jetty just seems to have a life of its own, welcoming all to its platform to partake. I know we can all share a jetty story of our own, but I'll leave that there. As the Secretary for Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, I'm committed to supporting spaces that enhance the well-being of our community. The restoration of the Pigeon Point Jetty is a testament to our dedication to preserving our cultural heritage while promoting sustainable development and tourism. This project would not have been possible without the support and vision of the Division of Tourism and the hard work of the Pigeon Point Board. You need to take a round of applause. Your recognition of the jetty as a priority project underscores its importance to this community and our island. We work here, we play here, we partake in sporting activities, family, and in recent times, we even hosted weddings right here on this jetty. The reopening of the Pigeon Point Jetty is not only about a reviving physical structure, it is about rekindling memories and creating new opportunities for future generations. It stands as a symbol of hope and continuity for all of us, an indefinite part of who we are illustrated in so many iconic photos over the years. Such a cherished and dear, I say sacred space. On behalf of the residents of Bonaccord and Crown Point, I say thank you. Let us embrace this moment with pride and look forward to the continued growth and economic sustenance of this community and the island as a whole. Thank you, and may the Pigeon Point Jetty continue to be a cherished part of us for many years to come.
Right?
Put your hands together once again for the area representative and Assemblyman Joel Sampson, Secretary of Community Development, Youth Development, and Sport. At this point in time, we'd like to bring to the podium a young lady, someone we all know and someone we all love. I'm talking about no other than Ms. Tashia Grace Boris, Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities, and Transportation.
Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies, and good evening to one and all. I would like to acknowledge the presence of Assistant Secretary in the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Assemblyman Niall George. I will also like to acknowledge the presence of Area Representative, the dynamic Joel Nutsi Sampson, Secretary in charge of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport. I would also like to acknowledge my able Assistant Secretary colleagues, Assemblyman Sonny Craig and Assemblyman Niall Tate. I would like to acknowledge the Chair of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park Board, Mr. Nyron Leong, and his hard-working Board of Directors. I would also like to welcome and acknowledge the Chairman of the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, Ms. Dahlia Jerry, and her staff at the Tobago Tourism Agency Limited, all other members of staff of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park, well-wishers, stakeholders, everybody who has a stake in why we're here today, good afternoon. I will start with a Tobago saying. My heart is filled with philanthropic joy. And it's filled with joy because I told Mr. Leong, I said, this jetty project has to be delivered in time for cruise ship season. And I'm happy to say that you rose to the challenge and you executed beautifully. And I think we need to give Mr. Leong and his team a rousing round of applause. I would also like to single out the stakeholders of Pigeon Point and Store Bay, because I could remember sitting in a meeting a couple months ago, and they complained bitterly about this jetty. They say the jetty falling apart. They say people getting injured. The thing rusty on the side. They can't offload their boats. They complain bitterly. And I made a promise to them that we would get the jetty fixed. And I don't make promises that I cannot keep. And I'm happy to stand here and say today that we kept our promise to you. The jetty is fixed. And it is beautifully fixed at that. The only criticism is me, I like the color of the ribbon, but that is another conversation altogether. Either way, I am happy to stand here as secretary acknowledging the hard work of all of our companies, but specifically Pigeon Point Heritage Park. I think that this board has breathed new life into this facility. I think that they have tried their best to do so much to ensure that Pigeon Point Heritage Park is a hub of activities in the southwest of the island. Whether you're coming to Fete on the Sand, whether you're coming to hang out on a Sunday at Traditions, whether you're coming to get married at the iconic jetty, whether you're coming for a conference, whether you're coming for a meeting at the pavilion, whatever it is, they have made Pigeon Point a hub of activity. And I am pleased to say that this delivery of this recommissioning of this jetty is the first one of our priority projects that is being delivered for fiscal 2024-2025. And I know that we went out last week and spoke about the 44 in 44, which is 44 projects that the THA as a whole is focusing on this fiscal year. But I have my own internal 44 in 44. And this is the first one of our 44 in 44. And I'm pleased to say that the delivery will only continue from here because we have a number of initiatives to roll out across the island that will see tourism infrastructure development in all spaces. So we've delivered the jetty this afternoon. We're going to be delivering the huts along Swallows Beach. We'll be delivering the toilet facilities at No Man's Land. We will be delivering Fort King George. We will be delivering the first phase of the Store Bay redevelopment this year. We will be delivering a number of other tourism infrastructure projects across the space. Because the reality is this, Tobago. We're saying things. Tobago is on the map. We are once again recognized as one of the top 4 most desirable islands in the world, and that must mean something. That means that the world is taking note of what Tobago has to offer. And you know what they're saying to us who live here? That you all are living on a gem of an island. that y'all are sitting on a gold mine, that we are sitting on a gold mine. And it's for us to recognize how valuable this 116 square miles of real estate is. And for us to come up with the things, the solutions to the problems, the ideas, the proposals, the recommendations, the suggestions on how we can continuously improve our product, continuously improve our experiences, and continuously ensure that the people who come to the greatest little island on the planet come here, leave, come back again, and bring friends when they come back. That is the message. That is the goal. So once again, I would like to say congratulations to the board, to the management, to the staff of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park. You continue to make me proud. I continue to look forward to all of the ideas and recommendations that you bring forth to continue to improve this space, to continue to monetize the park. And I'm looking forward to more successes as the board continue its tenure and as we go from 2024 into 2025. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tashia Grace Boris, Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation. Put you all hands together again once again for Miss Grace Boris. As we move along, because the sun is going down, I would like to call upon the Director of the Pigeon Point Heritage Park Limited, Mr. Carl Hector. Oh, you thought you was getting away? Put your hands together once again for Mr. Carl Hector, the Director.
Thank you, my brother. Pleasant cheers to each and everyone. First, let me compliment the management, although I'm missing Miss Abigail Daniel, our manager. She's not here with us this afternoon. But our team, when we talk about teamwork, that exists here, headed by Mr. Rodney. And through what we have done here, a lot of other responsibilities coming to us. And I told them guys that, I say eventually people might be looking at us to build jetties. And like it happening, you might have to build a lot of things. So Brother Rodney, I want to thank you and your supporting maintenance staff for the work. We really appreciate that, the commitment and the delivery. 5 weeks. Although we got to understand from our organization it'll take us 2 months and some millions. 2 months and some millions. But we have confidence in our people, and this is just a sign of what Tobagonians can do with the support and the encouragement. Straight case, no judge, no jury. Now, very rare, I rarely get exposed to a public forum. But when I open my mouth, people just get frightened. But I don't tell lie, and I don't thief. Now, when we came to Pigeon Point as this board, the only way I could describe what we met is like running into a gugu tree. All you know what is a gugu tree? A tree with a lot of picker. And it was laden with Jack Spaniard, so you could imagine the kind of pricks we got and the stung. And we had to hold the bull by the horn. I used to be here every day, until we had everything in place and in perspective. Right? As a true Gonian, that's what I represent. Results and deliverance. Now, we have, and we still have the problem. We were supposed to really develop the North Beach. That is the area there to engage and encourage and these promoters and that kind of thing. We had a design done, and we was on our way to fulfilling that. And I definitely think it's political undermining. Political undermining. Imagine right there in the airport, dirt being given away, carried to the dump left, right, and center. And we here, we wrote letters, me and the chairman, we went to visit the authorities there on several occasions. And you could imagine, as Tobagonians, we couldn't get dirt to develop where we wanted to develop. It's not about me. These are public places for all of us. And it takes real small-minded people to politically undermining us by not giving us dirt. And you're seeing dirt left, right, and center going all in the dump. I was so peeved that something like that could have happened. So we're still at square one with that. But we're hoping that we could rectify that soonest so we continue to demark the areas for the fishermen, for the reefmen, and to bring that place up to a standard so that people can enjoy. However, I see they're showing me time. I ain't really know. However, nice to see everybody here. And I must say thanks for everybody that really taking this project and for coming out here this afternoon. But I must reiterate, I really miss our manager, Miss Abigail Williams. What a fantastic person she is. Thanks.
Put your hands together once again for the director, Mr. Carl Hector. At this point in time, I guess we are where we need to be right now. That point where we all await. So where is the scissors? Where's the big scissors? Right. The real setting you up, Gil.
When every hand raised, we become one race. It's only one stage. This is the birthplace.
Yay!
Look where we are. Greatest carnival. So magical. It's a blessing sent from above. And we go jump till morning. Look, the moon don't sleeping. Tell them we not leaving. Till the last drop of bacchanal.